You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Thumbs up. My brain is still not functioning from after a 5-day metal festival. I'll tell you, it's takes it out of you. So let's start lying down on our backs, and we're going to start in butterfly pose, a little bit similar to what we had yesterday, but in a different way. So lying back, butterfly pose, soles of the feet together. They do not have to be too close towards the body. Make sure that, you can pull the heels towards the buttocks, and then you can start to stretch them away a little bit. And just notice how that changes the hip opening, the inner groin opening, maybe the spine. And just give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. So start to kind of maybe drop the knees a little bit, bounce gently, not hard, just gently bounce. Just feel the hip flexors engaging there. And then you can move and wiggle the hips and the sacrum and the pelvis together. Give a little hip wiggle. And then lift the chest so that the shoulder blades come away from the mat, and then kind of suction the shoulder blades and the upper back down the mat. Now notice if your lower spine has started to lift away. Keep the eyes open here. Allow the breath to just flow freely, breathing in and out through the nostrils. Each of the inhales, think about that traveling all the way around the body. And each of the exhales, you let go, you relax, you release just a little bit more than the last breath out. Focusing on something just up above you, a single point of gaze. Just take in how you feel today, how you feel in this moment. Mind, body, and your emotions, your soul, encompassing the union, the trinity of you. Lift the arms up above the head on your next inhale. Interlace the fingers and press the palms back. You can really allow the shoulders to nestle in here. You can keep the elbows bent if you like and draw them down to the mat, or maybe you push the arms straight and the elbows start to come towards the back of the head. Nice and slowly, take the feet all the way along the mat. So keep the arms up above the head if you can. So slide the feet away, lengthening the legs, straightening through the back of the knees. And then just release the feet to the wider edges of your mat and release the arms. And just take a big star shape here. So the arms are out to the side, not touching anything. The feet are the wider edges of your mat. Big star. And just feel that you're taking all of this beautiful space around you. And gently lift right knee in, followed by the left. Rock and roll from side to side, rolling out through the spine. Intensify that little bit more so you're rocking over onto each hip and each shoulder. And maybe you take the head with you, so you roll the head to where the knees are going. And then bring back into the center and just find some stillness. Nice deep exhale. Draw the knees in towards the belly, belly towards the spine. Lengthen the neck. Make sure you have this nice space here between the chin and that diamond of the collarbones. Breathe out, lengthening the tailbone down to the mat. So our practice today is working a little bit with the spine and the torso. So I want you to really focus now on all of your vertebrae, all of the way from the base of the skull, right down to the base of your back. Placing the soles of the feet down on the mat. Toes facing forward. Heels are slightly turned out so that you're not pigeon-toed or turning the feet and heels out. Feet are facing forward. And the heels, the hips, and the knees are all in one alignment. Lift the arms up into cactus here. So palms of the hands are facing up and there's a bend into the elbow. Let's start pelvic tilting. So lifting up through the tailbone, curling, and then drawing the tailbone back underneath you. So tiny little movements, pelvic tilts. You start to introduce the lower spine, the lower 5 lumbar vertebra. Pressing into the feet, pressing into the arms, pressing into the shoulders. And you're scooping up through the belly, getting a little bit more movement. You might start to lift up into a little bit of a bridge. Still doing the anterior and the posterior tilts. And feel that each and every time that you lift up, you're rolling through each vertebrae. You're not missing any out. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, roll down. Last time, we lift the hips up. Bring the hands down by the side of the body. Palms face down this time. Lift the hips, lengthen the thighs. Full bridge, engaging the glutes here. Lift, lift, lift. You can always support the hips if this is too much for you. Hands might come underneath the spine. Feel that space between the chin and the throat. And slowly, with control, you're going to hold the abdomen in towards the spine. Keep the tailbone, pubic bone lifted until the last possible moment. Roll down through the shoulders spread out, upper back comes down, middle back starts to release, waist comes down, top of the lower lumbar section comes down, still lowering, still keeping tailbone and pubic bone lifting, and then the sacrum, the pelvis releases down. Draw the knees in once more. Open up the knees a little bit wider this time so that you've got your belly free. And then start to circle the knees around again. One way and the other. And then opening the knees independently of one another. So opening up through the hip joints. So everything is connected within the body. It's all connective tissue. Bone is connected to cartilage and ligaments and tendons. Muscles are all connected. So when we're thinking of releasing into the spine, we need to release into the hips, the hip flexors, the quads, a little bit into the hamstrings as well. Take the knees wide. Just give them a little press here. Release into the hips. You can start to pull the knees forward and back. And try one at a time. So you pull the right and the left. And then take a happy baby here. So lifting up the feet and then lengthening again that spine. I've worn super short shorts today because it's so hot. Oh dear. Pulling the knees down towards the outer edges of your mat, lengthening the spine here, really lengthening the throat, relaxing through the face, breathing out, letting go of tightness, tension. Couple more breaths. And then release the hands, release the feet wide this time of your mat. Take the knees in towards one another. And you can relax through the inner thighs, through the hip flexors, toes turn inwards, heels turn out. Heel toe the feet back into parallel. You can keep the left leg bent here. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Take a moment to hug the knee. Breathing in and out, each exhale allows a deeper sense of release. If you wish to, you can always extend this left leg all the way along the mat, trying to really pull the leg downwards. And then we're going to extend the right leg up towards the sky. So you might have some tightness into the back of the hamstrings there. So try and keep the knee nice and soft, but the thigh close towards the body, and using a strap if you need to here. Nice deep exhale. I'd rather you keep the leg bent with the thigh close to the chest than having the leg all the way away over here. It's not going to do a lot for you. Here is going to be more progressive to release back of that leg. Slowly let go of the leg, and then with control, you're going to lower that down nice and slowly, as if someone's pulling the toes away from you. It's feeling longer, longer, longer. You're drawing the abdomen in towards the lower back, lowering that leg all the way, and see if you feel that those toes are way longer than the other leg. Moment there to just rest. Right leg bends, left knee in towards the chest, hug it in. So trying to keep the thigh as close to the chest as you can when you extend without popping through the back of that left knee. Breathing in, next exhale, extend from the knee, extend the leg up. Again, softness at the back of the knee. Using a strap or holding onto the foot, the ankle, the calf, or even behind the thigh. And choosing to extend that right leg if you wish. Nice deep exhale. Draw that right leg down and draw the left leg towards you. Breathing out. Letting go of the leg, drawing the abdomen in towards the spine, spine in towards the mat. Reach and extend the leg away from the hip. Think of it getting longer and longer and longer. Lower, slowly, all the way until it reaches the mat. And then just take a moment to relax in Shavasana, feeling how long your legs now are. Feel that you've hopefully released a little bit into the hip flexors by lengthening that way, and also into the back of the hamstrings there. Draw the knees in, roll and massage out. And then let's roll over to one side and gently press yourself up. So coming into tabletop position. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and find that neutral spine. Sway the hips just gently from side to side. Think about spreading the fingers as wide as you can here. And if you've got a deep flexion into the wrists, it's a little bit too much, bring them forward of the shoulders. Circle the hips a little bit forward and back. Circle the other way. Return to neutral, find your cat and cow. So breathing in, dropping belly, opening chest, lifting sit bones, breathing out, rounding through the spine for cat. Breathe in, mobilize the spine for cow. Breathing out, cat. Then feeling each and every vertebra moving independently, but then all as one. And releasing back into your child's pose. Hands can come underneath the forehead. Relax the hips back towards the heels. Breathing out, lengthen the spine. Rolling up through the spine, bringing the hands underneath the body. Last thing to come up is the crown of your head, keeping the chin tucked towards the chest. Closing the knees here and just coming into a nice kneel. Feel the spine lengthening here. Try to not bring the shoulders up towards the ears, but breathe out, allow the shoulders to relax. Feel them get heavier and heavier. Notice if you're flaring the rib cage here, or are you drawing and knitting the rib cage back in? Is the belly supporting the spine? Is the waist supporting everything in this whole core center? This is so important for protection of your own spinal column. Roll the shoulders back and down, lifting shoulders up towards the ears, exhaling down. Circle the other way. And then we're going to drop the chin towards the chest. Slide the head down towards the knees as you draw the belly back, curl through the spine. Slide the hands out. See if you can keep the chest all the way to the mat. We're going to slide into heart pose. So the hips lift. Maybe the chin comes to the mat or the forehead. Melt the chest towards the mat. Sliding forward onto the forearms and just dropping the hips, coming straight into your Sphinx pose. Wiggle the hips a little bit from side to side here, releasing through the sacrum, the pelvis. Roll the shoulders away if you have any tightness. Drop the chest and then press into the forearms, coming into that Sphinx pose. More challenging is when the feet are coming closer together. So choosing your option there, or maybe widening them a little bit, keeping the pubic bone grounded, chest is lifted. Breathing in, breathing out. Releasing from the Sphinx and rolling down through the rib cage. Head comes to the back of the hands and sway out. So lifting up the right foot towards the glute, lengthening hip flexor, lengthening the thigh along the mat, drawing the heel in towards the buttock. Your choice here, you can just stay with this. You can use a strap, of course, or a belt to hold that foot if the hand isn't quite meeting it. But your choice, you can lift up into a half sphinx with a quad stretch. So nice and gently lift the gaze, press into the forearm of your left hand. You've got a half sphinx going on with a quad stretch. Reminding yourself to keep pressing away from the mat here through that left arm. You're not dipping the chest and thinking towards the mat. You're keeping the chest nice and lifted. Deep inhales and exhales. Slowly release the leg and then bring the right arm back and lower down. If you took that option, sway out once more, release everything. Relax the belly, relax the spine. Left hand sweeps around to left foot. Draw the heel in, lift and lengthen the thigh away. Staying here or taking your option of that half sphinx. Hand comes underneath you at about a 45-degree angle. So pressing into the palm, the elbow and the forearm. Drawing heel in, keeping the chest nice and lifted, looking forward, relaxing the face. Releasing the back leg, bringing the arm around, exhaling, rolling down. Swaying out through the hips once more. See if you can take both hands back to take both feet. Open the chest, open the shoulders, lift the hip flexors to lengthen the thighs away. Maybe your head stays down. Maybe you lift the head and you might come into a half bow or full bow, your choice. Just a few breaths there. Doesn't have to be too challenging. Just opening the chest, back extension, slowly release. Release the legs, release the arms, sway out. Press back through tabletop. Release the hips once more. So right foot comes to the right, excuse me, wrist, got a tickle. Dropping the hips into your lizard, circling there, a little bit freeing up through the hip. And just dropping nicely, maybe coming down onto the palms or blocks. Long spine here, so keeping the abdomen really nice and lifted here. Chest is nice and lifted, good. Wrists might be underneath the shoulders. And then pull that gently back into your half splits. Wiggle that right leg into the center. Lengthen the spine here and then exhale, fold over. We're going to take a twist in a moment. So if you do need a block to place that left hand on, please grab one handy. So left hand stays down, right hand comes to the sacrum. You start to take a gentle twist towards that right thigh, opening up the top right shoulder. Maybe the gaze looks to the sky or looks down at the heel. Draw the toes up towards the shin, really digging into that right heel, pressing through the left palm, pressing through left shin. Bring yourself back into center. Release that right leg back. Left leg comes forward. Dropping into your lizards, circling hips. And then finding that lizard just for a few breaths. Some people call it lizard, some people call it dragon. I use both. Chest is lifted, abdomen pulling in towards the spine, and then pull yourself back. Wiggle that left heel in towards the center. Really draw the toes back so you're pushing the heel away. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Ooh, that's particularly tight. Nice deep breath out. This time, right hand comes down either onto the block or the mat. Left hand comes to the sacrum. You start to twist the spine towards the front leg. Maybe opening up the chest and the gaze towards the sky, or looking down towards the front foot. Open, open, open. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Bring yourself back into the center. And then release that heel back and sway out. Good work. So let's come to a high kneel. Low kneel first of all. Let's do a reverse prayer here, which opens up the chest and shoulders. So reverse prayer can be anything. Hands can be down here. They might be taking hold of the elbows. They might be knuckles, but if you can, try and nestle your hands up between your shoulder blades. So you might just open the chest a little bit more, get the hands in between the shoulders, and then notice if you're flaring the rib cage here. So knit the rib cage bracket back into place. Press the fingers and the palms together. Good. That's it. Close the eyes. Take a few moments. Just relax through the shoulders. Breathe into the tight areas of elbows, arms, chest, wrists. Nice and slowly release the hands and circle the wrists out. Give them a little shake, little wiggle. Bringing the legs out in front of you. Choosing to bend the knees here, soles of the feet come down. We're going to take some nice slow roll backs down towards the mat. So you're going to tuck the belly in, pelvis tilts underneath you, slowly roll back through the spine. Using the core as much as you can. You can come as far as you like. Press the feet in towards the mat. Slowly roll down. Slowly roll up. Just a few more. Takes a bit of effort on the way up if you go all the way down. And then last one, rolling down and rolling up. Hands reach up towards the sky. You lengthen the legs out, flexing the feet and reaching over. Exhaling into your forward fold. Give yourself a little wiggle room. Let that flesh from the sit bones release. Lengthen the spine. Away from the hips. Give yourself that space. And then exhale, fold. Let the head release down towards the knees. If you need to keep the knees bent here, please do. You can hold on with a strap, the toes, the ankles, the calves. Maybe the hands come down by the side of the legs. Now relax the flexion and point the feet. And that gives you a little bit of a stretch through the tops of the arches. And now relax the pointing, relax the feet, relax the ankles and the legs. Let yourself just fold. Keep drawing the belly back towards the spine. Try not to let the belly hang over the thighs. Pull it backwards. Nice and slowly lengthen the spine all the way from the base. So you start to lengthen into a flat back here. Chest opens to the thighs. Gaze looks forward. And then you round again. You exhale and you round. So we've got that lengthening into a flat back. That's going to deepen your stretch. And then round across the spine, exhaling. Beautiful. So last time, inhale. Lengthen the spine. Feel the sit bones pointing back behind you. Crown of the head reaches forward. And then inhale, bring yourself back into center. Bring the soles of the feet together into butterfly. And just rock from side to side here. Now let's take a twist here. So taking the left hand behind you, right hand comes to the knee for a little bit of leverage. Inhale, lift, exhale, deepen slightly into that rotation. And look forward here, look towards your feet. So you're drawing the left shoulder back, but you're looking over the right shoulder. Find the twist starting all the way at the base of the spine, going all the way to the neck. So you've got a counter twist here. So the spine is moving around to the left behind you and then to the right in the head and neck. And then bring yourself back into center. Take a moment, release, and then take it to the other side. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepen into the rotation. The head goes back first towards the back hand, and then you look forward. See if you get any deeper rotation through the right side of the body. Keeping tall and lifted. Spine is long. Keep the shoulders over the hips. Breathing in and out. Nice and slowly bring yourself back into center. Lift the knees together. Give yourself a big hug. You can take the hands underneath the knees if you like, drawing the chest, the belly to the thighs, letting the head drop to the knees. Feel the stretch through your back here as you release the head a little bit further. Rolling up through the spine, hands come back behind you, windscreen wiper these knees out to the side. So they're about shoulder width, hip width apart. Drop the knees over, see if you can get both knees down, lifting up that left hip just a little bit. Opening up through the chest, good. Bring yourself back, switch sides. So just see where you can go with this. Right to left, good. And then over to the other side, knees come down. And over to the other side, to the left. Bring yourself back into center. Swing the legs around behind you. Come back into that tabletop position. Lifting up the right hand, it opens up the right side of the body, and we thread it through and under, all the way, lifting up the hips, and then you can keep that left hand where it is by the ear, or reaching it forward. Find the openness through the left side of your body. Try to keep the hips above the knees, tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Breathing out, breathing in. Bring it back into the center. Left arm lifts. Open up. Oh, I just had my back crack then. Whew. Thread it through and under. Palm faces up to the sky. Hand might stay by the ear supporting you, or you can reach those right fingers forward to the front. Breathing in. Breathing out. Deeper opening. Bring the hand back to support you, lifting up. Let's take a child's pose once more. Knees go wide, big toes come together, reach the sit bones back. Bring the hands underneath the head, widen the elbows, pressing the chest down. Exhale here. Notice now your child's pose. Does it feel a little bit more easier than the earlier one? Do you have more openness in the spine? More release into the hips? Bring yourself back up to kneeling and swinging the legs around in front of you. So left leg stays long, right leg comes in towards the thigh. And just gently press that right knee down. Just open up the hip a little bit more here. So we're going to, let me actually go on the other side. There we go. That's better. We're actually going to open up the side body now. So we're going to lift up the right arm behind us. Left arm can come down, either holding onto a strap, if you like, to the foot, holding onto the foot, the ankle, or just dropping the arm in front, lifting up. Nice side stretch here, looking up to the hand if it feels comfortable, or down at the front leg, and reaching over towards the toes. Really feel that this rib cage starts to rotate and open back behind you. Looking underneath the armpit if it feels comfortable, or looking down. Breathing in and out. Nice and slowly. Release the hand behind you. We're going to roll up onto that front knee and then lift the hips forward. Push, push, push. Nice expressive movement. Big stretch. Bring yourself back into the center. So take it to the other side. Right leg is in front, left leg in towards the thighs. Give that knee a little bit of a press, opening up the hip a little bit more. And then you turn the torso so your shoulder is in line with that front leg, lifting up top arm and over. Roll the rib cage. You can use your own hand here, so you can take hold of the rib cage and pull it open. Then you can release the hand if that feels good. Nice. Dropping the body weight just a little bit more, deeper stretch, looking underneath the armpit if the neck allows. And then release the hand behind you, roll up onto the knee, sweep the arm forward, big, big stretch. Open the chest to the sky, and then bring yourself back and swing the legs around behind you. Tucking the toes underneath you. Releasing the hands forward and then pulling the weight back into the heels. We're going to come into a dangling fold. So lifting up onto the feet. Give the feet a little bit of movement. First time we've been standing. Lifting toes, lifting heels, releasing knees, releasing ankles. And then bring the hands up onto the thighs. So you're going to lengthen the spine away. So nice flat back. You're going to feel there's a definite gap here. It's like you had a pole that you're holding between your thighs and your hips and your belly. So you're going to hold onto the thighs. Crown of the head reaches forward. Lift up through the abdomen. Nice strong spine. Bend, bend, bend through the knees. You're in a deep, deep squat. From here, we're going to reach the chest further forward and then let the belly come down. Let the head relax. Give yourself a little yes and no shake. Inhale, do that once more. You can hold on to the thighs or the shins. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale. See if you get a little deeper centimeter out of that fold. Once more, inhale. It's just as we were doing when we were seated. In that seated forward fold, draw the shoulders back, lengthen spine, lift up abdomen. And then press the chest down towards the shins this time. Start to straighten the legs when you feel comfortable to do so. Keeping the belly, the chest down towards the thighs. Come into your dangling position. Hands might lock over the elbows so that you can feel all of the weight dropping. Be careful here with spinal conditions. It's a deep forward fold. Keep the weight mostly into the toes, not back into the heels, but equal weight distribution. So you could lift the heels, you could lift the toes. Exhale a little bit more. And then release the hands, release to the knees, tabletop position. Now find your cat and cow. See if you have a little bit more mobility through the spine than when we did this earlier. Pull it back through child's pose. Reach the hands forward this time, pressing the chest down towards the mat as the forehead relaxes. Walking the hands back towards the head, rolling up, drawing the belly back towards the spine. Each and every vertebra rolls. Shoulders come back up in line with the hips. Then you release the head. Bring the knees together or hip width. Come up to a high kneel. Take the hands behind you, either fingers facing down, round about the center of the back, or if your fingertips and your wrists allow, fingertips facing up. Little camel pose here, or back bend. So you're going to push your hip flexors forward. You're going to lengthen through the psoas, open the chest, keep the gaze to the front for the moment, looking along the body. And then maybe the gaze goes to the sky. Keep the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. They're not hunching up. And then bring yourself back into center and release back into kneel. We're going to do that once more. Second time around, you can stay with the hands there, or you might wish to release the hands down onto the feet, the heels, or blocks by the side of you. So you can place blocks and hold on to those. Lifting up into that high kneel. Hands come back behind you, and then support the spine. Come into your variation of camel. It's yours and yours alone. Bring yourself back. Strength. And back into kneeling. Good work. Take a moment's rest. Again, feel the spine start to line itself up naturally. Swing the legs around in front of you. Shuffle forward. Take a nice slow roll down through the spine. Take 10 counts if you are able. Keep drawing the belly back towards the spine. Keep the feet nice and grounded. Breathe, smile, relax the facial expression. Lift the arms up above the head. Give yourself a big, big stretch. Point the toes. Feel long, longer than you've ever felt. Taller than you've ever felt. And then let's come into knees to chest once more, releasing into the spine. Dropping the spine into the mat, relaxing through the hips and legs. Releasing the feet and coming into Banana Asana. So walking the hands to the right side of your mat, lifting up the shoulder blades and shuffling them around. And then walking the feet to the right side. So you're in this nice little crescent bend. So there's some add-ons here. You can take the right hand to the left wrist and pull that left arm a little bit more. And you can also pop the left ankle over the right. So if you were looking at yourself from above, you would be in the shape of a banana or the shape of a crescent moon. Blow down everything here. Deep breaths. These are your lateral stretches, very passive lateral stretches. You might feel a deep stretch all the way from the wrist right down to that left ankle. Try and breathe through the left side of your body. Breathing in, release the hands, shuffle the shoulders back into the center, release that left foot. Take a moment to rest in Shavasana, neutral, your big star pose. Feet together, arms above the head, big, 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 big stretch. Point the toes, press back through the knuckles. Feel tall and long, and then shuffle the hands over, shuffle the shoulders, top left corner, and then shuffle the feet, bottom left corner. Take those options, left hand to right wrist, if you like, and right ankle goes over left ankle. Breathing in, shuffle the hands and shoulders back into center as you release the hands down by the side, palms face up. Release the right foot. Take a moment in that star pose. Feet come together, arms above the head. Point the fingers this time. Stretch away. Point the toes, point the feet. And then release, draw the knees in towards the chest, roll and massage out. Let's take a dead bug. So legs and arms go straight up to the sky. Try to keep the heels in line with the hips. So if you feel that the legs are too far away, pull them in and bend the knees. Wrists are above the shoulders and just gently circle through wrists and the ankles. Stretching, pointing, flexing. Then find stillness, dropping all of the weight into the body, into the torso, the whole area that we've just worked on. Lower the hands down by the hips, palms face down, draw the abdomen back in. You're going to lower those legs nice and slowly. With control, you can keep them straight or bent. Draw the abdomen in towards the spine. Spine draws in towards the mat. Try not to take the tension into the face, throat, neck, and shoulders. Smile, breathe. Keep pulling abdomen in towards the spine, spine in towards the mat. Good work. Almost there. Whoa, last few centimeters. And relax all the way into your star. Sway the hips out, sway the belly, sway the spine. Little fish pose before the final twist. Hands come underneath your buttocks. Draw the elbows in towards the midline of the bottom and lift up onto the forearms. Looking along the body, you can stay here. This is a great place to be. Try not to sink the chest, but press the chest open. Round the shoulders back behind you. Maybe the head drops back if the neck allows. Maybe the head comes to the mat. And you give yourself a little bit more wiggle as those elbows come underneath you. Nice and slowly release the hands. Last little extra twist coming in. So dropping the knees over to the right by shifting the hips over to the left. So we're going to twist to the right. Maybe the hand takes hold of those knees, just gently pulls them down. So just release through all of the tension, anything that may still be remaining anywhere in the spine, the front body, to the hips, the legs. Take this now as a passive release rather than a pulling or deeper stretch. Breathe in, bring yourself back into center, realign. Shift the hips to the right, knees go left. Maybe use the hands to gently hold on to that top knee. Breathing in, breathing out. Let go. Bring yourself back into center. If there's something else that your body needs right now, just before a short and final relaxation before you continue with your day, you can go ahead, do that now, or just come back into that wonderful star pose. Take the legs as wide as you have available. Take the arms as wide as you have without touching anything by the side of you. So if your fingertips are touching anything and your toes are touching anything, just move those things out of the way so that you have that full space. Relax the toes and the ankles. They don't have to be upright. Let them fall out to the side so it's gently releasing into the hip joints. Just turn the head to one side, chin to shoulder. Bring it back, turn the chin to shoulder. Bring it back. Lift the chest. Pull the upper and the middle back down. Spread the shoulder blades. Close the eyes. Few deep breaths. This is just a short close to the session, not a full shavasana. Take a deeper breath in. Breathe out through the mouth. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Open the eyes. Give yourself a big, big stretch, big, big yawn. Take your time to roll over, drawing knees in. And just return up to a comfortable seat. Let's close our practice together. And just sit nice and tall. Notice how you feel now. Notice how your spine, your chest, your shoulders, your hips, your legs feel. Notice how your mind is responding. And you've prepared yourself for the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Lovely to see you. Always thank yourself. Namaste.